All right, this is what we did before you guys took your exams. This is just a review. Okay? If I asked you, what is 10 to the first power? What is 10 to the first power? 10. And what's 10 to the second power? 100. So if I said, hey, what's 10? 10 to what power is 85? If you had to guess what it would be, what would you think it's between?
1 and 2.
Between 1 and 2, right? So it has to be, I don't know, let's see what it is. Well, what you're going to do, you have to be able to convert these to log form. So for example, if I gave you 2 to the third power is 8, and 2 to the fourth power is, what, 16. 2 to what power is, let's say, 10. You have to be able to convert these to log form. How do you convert these to log form?
Well, that's 3 equals log base 2/8.
Okay, so the log, so this would be the log of 8, base 2 is 3, right? This one would be the log of 16, base 2 is 4. This is all old stuff. This one would be the log of 10, base 2 is what? So what you would do is take your calculator, and the change of base formula is, you type in log 10 divided by log of 2. And if you use the inspires, you can type it in just the way it is. So it's about 3.3. So for this one, to answer this question, what is the log of, you want to convert, if you wanted to convert this one, it would be the log of 85 base 10 is what? Now, if it's in base 10, it's called a common log. And you don't have to do log of 85 divided by log of 10. You can just hit in your calculator log of 85. Let's see.
1.9.
Log of 85 is, and it's 1.9. So the answer to this, and we were right, or you were right, it's about 1.9. And that's a number between 1 and 2, right? So here is the 2 different forms, exponential and log form, which you all know. So can you help me run through these really fast? Go ahead.
3 equals log 10,000.
Why don't you start with log?
Okay, log base 10,000.
You say log
Oh,
of
wrong one.
125 base
3.
5 is 3. A log is an exponent. Remember that. A log is an exponent. Now how would you write this one right here? The log of 8 base 1/2 is -3. This is old stuff. How do you go from log to exponential? How would you convert this to exponential?
3 to the 4th.
You do 3 as the base, and a log is an exponent, so that's your exponent is 81. How about number 4?
4 to the -2nd.
4 to the -2 power is really 1/16. Okay? Now, you can evaluate logs with a base of 10 by just using the log key on your calculator. So for example, check this out. This is what we just did. How would you rewrite this in log form? You would write the log of 85 base 10 is that exponent x. So all you have to do on your calculator is type in log 85 and you'll get 1.9. We just did that. How would you do number 6?
X equals
Log of 1/109 base 10, you don't need that base 10, is what? So on your calculator, you would type in log 1 divided by 109, and I get -2.04.
Got it.
Okay, just really quick, what does 9 to the 1/2 power mean? You need to know this stuff here for a reason, and I'll tell you in a second. What does 1/2 power mean? It means the square root of 9. What's the square root of 9?
3.
What does a negative exponent mean? which is what? 4, yep, 1 over 64, yep. This, I don't know what I was thinking, cross that out, that's a boo-boo. How would you do a fraction to a negative exponent? What would you write here? Flip this and make this positive. So 2 to the 4th. What's 2 to the 4th?
60.
Okay, so now, what does this one-to-one property mean? What it means is, let's say I gave you
It's not 64, is it?
2 times 2 is 4 times 16. Sorry, guys.
I was like, wow.
I don't know what I was doing. Sorry. 2, I'm trying to go fast so I can get all this done. 2 times 2 is 4 times 2 is 8 times 2 is 16. 16. Okay, so let's say I gave you this problem right here. One of the things that you can do is get both of these in to be the same base. So I know 32 can be written in base 2. Does anyone know what 32 in base 2 is? It's 2 to the 5th power. So did you know this one-to-one property says, see how these bases are the same? So you set these equal to each other, like that. So we're going to use this property a little bit in this section. So let's use our information on translating these to exponential. How do you translate this? It says 4 is the log of v base 3. How do you convert this? And sorry, I did not leave a lot of room, so write small.
3 to the 4th.
It'd be 3 to the 4th power is v. Well, can you do 3 to the 4th?
81.
It's 81. So that's your answer. You're trying to solve for v on all these. Okay, how about number 8? Keep translating them and you'll get the answer. This one would be
V to the 5th.
v to the 5th power is 32.
2.
So do you know a number that raised to the 5th power is 32? And that would be 2. 2 to the 5th power is 32, so v is 2. Next one. Convert it.
9 to the 1/2.
9 to the 1/2 power, what does that mean? We just did it.
Square root of
So it's 3. Number 10.
1 over 6 squared.
6 to the negative 2 power is v, or 1 over 6 squared is v, or
136.
1 over 36. Good. Next one. Now they're going to get, now you have to think. You've got v to the 1/2 power is 4. So I want to get a 1 right here. What could I multiply 1/2 by to get a v to the 1st power? What could I do? What could I multiply this by?
2.
A 2. So guess what? I'm going to raise this to the 2nd power also. Did you see how I did that? So this is equal to 1, v to the 1st power, and what's 4 squared?
16.
There you go. How about the next one? 125 to what power is going to give you a 5? Well,
1/3.
can you write 125 in base 5? Yes, it's 5 to the 3rd power. So you have 5 to the 3v is equal to 5 to the 1st power. So now watch this. Cross these 5s out, and you've got 3v equals 1. What's v?
1/3.
1/3. Good job. 13. 10 to what power is 0.001? Anyone know?
-3rd.
Okay, if you, it's what?
-3rd.
It's -3, because this is 1 over 1,000. And if I brought this up, it'd be 10 to the -3. Just gonna write -3. And this last one, 4 to what power is equal to 2 to the 1/2 power? Okay, what do I do now?
Log of 4 or log. Oh, I guess
Yeah, you could use a calculator, but we're gonna do it without. Can I write 4 in base 2? Yes. 2 squared x. Okay, cross these 2's out. So you have this equation, 2x is equal to 1/2. What's my answer?
1/4.
1/4. See how smart you are? You didn't even know it. Okay, this is old stuff. Just getting you guys back into this stuff. And this is a typo, this should be a 3. That should be a 3 to the x power. How do you graph an exponential function? This is an exponential. Well, what we did was we made a t-chart, 0, 1, and 2, and when you replace these 4 numbers into this equation, -1, you get 1/3, right? 0, you get a 1, a 1, you get a 3, and a 2, you get a 9. So if we were to graph these points, over 1, up a third, 0, 1, 1, 3, and 9. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is what an exponential function looks like right here. Now if I asked you what is the domain of this, well, we can do all real numbers. And the range is going to be greater than 0. This thing will never hit the x-axis or fall below it. Okay? Now if I asked you to graph this function, this is a log function. What we did was we rewrote this as 3 to the y power is x. We plugged numbers in for y, like -1, 0, 1, and 2. And then what we did was we evaluated these. And what do you notice? What do you notice about these two?
They're inverse.
They're inverses of each other. They are inverses of each other. So graphing the log problem, over a third, down 1, 3, 1, and 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and up 2. Here is this one. So if we had to analyze, the domain is going to be x is greater than 0, and the range is all real numbers. What do you notice? They got switched. These are inverses. Where is the line of reflection? Do you remember where it is? It's the line y equals x. Y equals x. So this graph is a reflection over this line. Notice, see, this point is reflected here. This point is that point. This point is that point. Get it? Okay, so they're a reflection over the line y equals x. Now, do you remember all the steps involved in graphing this one? What did we do with this 1/3? Tell me what?
Took it out.
Took it out. And what do you get when you take 1/3 out? Pull out 1/3 from here, what do you get? Minus
3.
3, good. So now, how do you graph this by hand? The table of values, you start with your parent function. Your parent function is y equals the log of x base 3, that's your parent function, which is 3 to the y power is x. So we did -1, 0, 1, 2. So 1/3, 1, 3, and 9. That's our parent function. So now step by step, can you tell me what to do here, 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 and here? What's your first step right here?
Plus
This-
3
You're going to take your x value and do what?
times 3.
Times it by 3. So go ahead. Times them all by 3. What do you get when you multiply this by 3, this by 3, this by 3, this by 3?
1, 3, 9, 27.
Yep. Then what do you do?
Keep your
Take your x value and
add
you're going to add, these two you do the opposite. So you flip this, multiply it by x, and the opposite of this number gets added to your x value. So tell me what your new x values are.
4, 6, 12, 30.
So you get 4, 6, 12, and 30. You guys, is this coming back? Good. Next, what do you do?
Multiply with y's times 3.
Now we move on to this number out here. You're going to multiply your y values by 3. If we multiply these y values by 3, these ones right here, you get -3, 0, 3, and 6, right? Keep the x's now the same. And then do what?
Subtract 2.
Take your y values and bring them down 2. So if you bring these down 2, you get -5, -2, 1, and 4. And then you graph them. How about that? So over 4 down 5. Over 6 down 2. So this is what's happening. You've got your graph going like this. Then we've got 12, 1, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1. And the other point is going to be off the page. But we have an asymptote. Do you know what the asymptote is? It's the line x equals 3. Do you know where x equals 3 comes from?
When you plug.
Where in your equation do you think you'll get that x equals 3?
0.
Inside. Miss Audia? Sure. Thanks. Troy, you gotta go to the commons. So your asymptote comes from here. It's a shift, your graph is shifted 3 units to the right. Okay, so now if I asked you what the domain is, you look right here, and it's gonna be x is greater than 3. All the x values greater than 3 in your range is gonna be for these all real numbers. Y is all, A-R-Y, all real numbers. Easy?
Now we're done for the day, right?
No, not quite, but almost.
Homework.
There's 3 properties that you have to know. Now, if you don't mind grabbing one, giving them one from there. There's 3, we're moving on. There's 3 properties you guys must know. And this is section 5.5. Miss Ball already taught this, we're a little bit behind. Okay? And see if you guys remember any of these properties from last year. The first property is called the product law, okay? So if I said the log of 2xy base 3, do you guys know that's a product, 2 times x times y. Do you remember how to expand this? Do you remember that?
Oh, no.
The log, it's the log of 2,
Oh, yeah.
where's my pencil? Plus the log of x plus the log of y. So anytime, and they all have to be base 3. So you put a 3 here. So you're going to be asked to go from expanding to condensing. So if I gave you this problem, you should be able to condense this to be the log of 2xy base 3. Okay? So now using that information, check this out. They give you, here's 2 examples. A says, given that the log of 3 is 0.4771 and the log of 11 is 1.0414, how can you get the product, using the product rule, the log of 33? How can you get a product to be 33 using a 3 and an 11? Well, the log of 3 times 11. So now, how do you figure this out? You're going to do the log of 3 plus log of 11. So all you're doing is adding those 2 decimal numbers. The log of 3 is 0.4771, and the log of 11 is 1.0414. Adding them up, you get 1.5185. Easy? And the same goes for the natural log. So here's 7 and 9, and then they give you 63. So what are you going to do with these 2 numbers? Add them. That's all you do. Because 63 is 7 times 9, and so with the product rule, you add these 2. So for this one, all you would do is you would add the log of 7 and the log of 9. and you end up getting, it's 1.9459 and 2.1972, and your answer is 4.1431. Easy? Easy enough? Okay, the next law is the quotient law. The quotient law says if you have a fraction, a quotient, what you do is subtract them. It's the numerator minus the denominator. So very easy here. They give you the log of 28, they give you the log of 7. Well, now they want you to do find the log of 4. So to get the log of 4, using a 28, you're going to do 28 divided by 7, which now what property you're going to use? You're going to do the log of 28 minus the log of 7. Well, the log of 28 is 1.4472, and 0.8451 is the log of 7. Subtract them, and you get 0.6021. So how would you do the next one? The log of 18 and 6 is given, and you need the log of 3. What are you going to do? So ln of 3 would be ln 18 over 6. So it's ln 18 minus ln 6. So it's 2.8904 minus 1.7918, which is 1.0986. Questions? The last property is called the power rule. If you have a power like this is log to the v power, v to the k power, you simply bring that power in front and multiply it. So here you have the log of 6 is given to you, and they want the log of the square root of 6. So log of the square root of 6 is really the log of 6 to the 1/2 power. That's your power. So all you do is bring 1/2 in front. So it's 1/2 times the log of 6, which is simply 1/2 of 0.7782. And if you have a calculator, I have 0.3891. And how about B? Same thing. It says ln cube root of 50, which means ln 50 to the 1/3 power, which is 1/3 times ln 50. Whoops, ln 50. Well, ln of 50 is 3.9120, so it's 1/3 times that. Huh? ln means log base e. Okay, so let's try some of these examples. Can you simplify this expression, make it smaller? They want a single log. So check this out. You have ln 3x plus 4. Where does this 4 go? That's a power. So what you have here is ln 3x plus ln x to the 4th power minus ln 3xy. Okay, now what? With a plus sign, what do you do? What does the plus sign mean? What does the minus sign mean? These two get multiplied, so you have 3x and then x to the 4th in the numerator, and then 3xy in the denominator. Is there anything you can cancel?
1x.
Anything else?
3.
Yep. And there's your answer. ln x to the 4th over y. Questions? Okay, this next one's a doozy. It looks really hard, doesn't it? Okay, so it's a plus sign. What does plus sign mean?
Multiply.
So do you agree? We're going to take that this, and we're gonna multiply. Do you agree? That's what we just did. We condensed it to be one problem. Well, now you better know your properties here. I see some x's here. Can you convert the square root of x to a fractional exponent? Yeah, 1/2 power. Can you convert this? This is going to be e to the 1/4 power and x to the 2/4 power. Do you agree with what I just did? What's another name for 2/4? 1/2. Isn't this x to the 1/2 power? This is really x to the 1/2 power. And what happens when bases are the same? What do you do with these two exponents? You add them. So what do you have with these two? You have an x. So what could I do right now? Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. So your answer, all of this goes to ln e to the 1/4, or another way,
1/4.
like that. Those mean the same thing. Right? Okay, I added 2 more examples for you. See if you can do A. Everyone try A. What'd you get? That. ln 2x cubed over 3y. Now, see how many of you can get this next one. This is a hard one. So we're going to convert this to ln e squared times plus, this is a product, plus ln e plus ln y minus 3. Now, see this 2 right here? Where does it 2 go? In front. See this 2? Okay, now, do you guys remember what ln means? Do you remember what ln means? What does this mean? It means log base e, right? Now, do you remember what I told you when these 2 are the same? What does this whole thing equal? 1. Yep. So this is equal to 1 right here. There's another place right here. This is log base e. This is equal to 1. So this is 1. What's this right here? 2. This is 2. 2 times 1 is 2. So this is what you have. So what cancels?
2, 3, and 3.
2 and 1 and negative 3. These cancel. So ln x y. That's your answer.
Lengthy.
Yeah, that's crazy, huh? Okay, I'm holding on. This is a harder one, not gonna lie. That's a harder one. But you guys can do it. John, you're good? Okay, let's play with this problem right here. This is given to you, the 7, the 3, the 5, and the 2. Can you, with a product, how can you get 12 using a 7, a 3, a 5, and a 2? Anyone? How about 2 times 2 times 3, right? Doesn't that give you 12? So it's really the log of 2 plus log of 2, or you could do 2 of the log of 2's plus log of 3. So it's 0.3010, and log of 3 is 0.4771. Anyone have an answer?
Let's solve it.
Yep. Good job. Okay, how would you do this one? Next one. I've got a 3 on top and a 14 on the bottom. How am I gonna get a 14 with these? 7 times 2. Like that. So how are you gonna do this one? It's gonna be the log of 3 minus
Log of 7 plus.
log of 2 plus log of 7, like, just like that. Well, the log of 3 is 0.4771, 0.3010, and 0.845. Anyone have any answer? That's what I got. Anyone get that answer? And how would you do C?
No, yeah.
What would you do?
3 log
2 to the 3rd power is 8, so it's 3 times log of 2. So 3, what is the log of 2? It's 0.3010. What's your answer? 0.903. Easy? Okay, check the next one out. How do you expand this one? They want you to write this in terms of u and v. They say let u be ln x and let v be ln y. So how would I expand this the way it is? Well, it's going to look like this. It's the ln x cubed plus ln y squared.
3u plus 2v.
3 ln x plus 2 ln y. Well, this is where you replace. Ln x is u, 3u, and 2v. Ln y is v. Easy?
It's a lot easier than I thought.
Yeah,
There's a lot of room for more.
I know. I gave you a lot of room for this and not that one. Okay, these two are easy also. How are you going to solve, what do you think you're finding?
X.
X. Okay, what's the base on this?
10.
10. So it's 10, how do you convert it? 10 to the
Third.
third power is 2x.
So
What is 10 to the third? 1,000, right?
500.
Divide by 2, and what's the answer? 500. Easy? Next. What do you think you're going to do here? I bet you can figure it
Subtract
out.
5.
Subtract 5.
3. 10 to the third. E to the third.
ln
E to the
means
third.
log base e.
E to the third.
So e to the third is x minus 1. So you got to use your calculator. E to the third is 20.09. So what do you think you're going to do? What's your answer? Add 4. And you're done.
Are we done?
Well, this back page is your homework. You want to run through it right now?
Yep.
No.
Yep.